Welcome back to Engaged and Divorced,
the podcast where I wear the rings.
and I'm trying to figure out these damn things.
You're supposed to shrug. Yeah, there you go. Welcome to another episode. It's been a minute since we have recorded.
Yeah.
I'm
a year older now.
Oh, yeah. Shaylee had a birthday.
33. Now, be honest, Kylie. Does that be honest. Do you feel like I'm really old now? Like when you think of 33, does it feel old to you?
No. Because I'm 25. That's not that much older.
I mean, I remember thinking of 33 and being like, oh, I'm going to be so cool by then.
I think I'm old already. But
neither of us are in the grand scheme of things.
No, because everyone always hypes up the 30s. So
30s are the best. For sure.
So it doesn't feel old to me. I feel like you're not old till like 60s. No offense, Mom. But like 65. So she's good.
Really?
No.
I used to think that, but now I think it's like 75. And then when I next year or like in 10 years from now, I'm going to be like 85 is old.
Yeah. No, 75
I think it goes
old.
up as you get older. You're like, no, that's not old. This is old. Just because you're getting closer to that threshold that you've set. Yeah,
70s is definitely up there. Can't say that's young. So,
I mean, if you're going to live to be 100, it's young.
I hope not. Colorado's oldest guy died the other day. Oldest gentleman. He was like 109.
Really?
Yeah.
109.
Yeah, I'm like, please, no.
What ethnicity is he?
White. I don't know. I think
no
he was
way.
White, yeah.
Whoa. That always surprises me when it's a white person.
Yeah.
I don't know why. We just don't have the same functioning system. Anyways.
It's always the ones who are just like, they're just like, I drink milk every morning.
What's your secret for a long life?
All right. Well, oh God, this is going to be a mess. So if you've noticed Shaylee's Instagram page, you might have noticed there's a new face on there.
Ooh. It's been so hard not to talk about this for so long on this podcast.
Yeah, there's a reason why we stopped talking about Shaylee's dating updates, and we kind of hinted at it a few times, but not sure if anyone caught on.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I gave it away a few times on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hinted at it.
I do remember the episode where we were rating profiles, and then you came across his profile, and it was like the musician, and then you were talking about how you had high hopes for him. So
yeah,
technically you've already talked about him on here.
Yeah, I did. I read his whole dating profile and everything, and I was like, ooh, I love this profile. And then I had a really good feeling about him even then. We had just started talking, but I had a good feeling pretty much right away. So
yeah.
So I have a boyfriend.
Yay!
In case you're lost right now.
Oh yeah, we never actually said that part.
And we've been dating for almost 7 months officially.
Oh, wow.
But I've known him for over like 8 months now. It's so weird.
Okay. I didn't realize you've been dating for so long, but yeah, that makes sense.
So I asked you guys to ask me questions, anything that you're dying to know about my new relationship. And so a lot of you sent a lot of the similar questions, and we came up with like 14. So
the basics.
Kylie's going to ask me the questions so you can get to know him better. His name is Austin, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's question number 1. Where did you meet and how old is he?
So we met on Facebook dating, and which, by the way, did you know that there's Facebook dating? Go check it out. I remember I was actually looking through my phone that day when I was looking at all the people that had liked me that day. Mm-hmm. And I had my settings set from age 28 to 45.
Oh, wow.
I was
very
like,
wide
I'm
range.
not going to date anyone less than 28. That's way too young. OMG. So there's no way I would have found him because he was 27.
Oh, wow.
When he liked me. So when he liked me and I saw his age, I was like, ooh, that's young. But then I read his profile and I was immediately like, yeah, I need to meet this guy.
It's only 5 years younger than you.
I know, but for some reason, mentally in my head, like, that just seemed
Feels like a
really
long
young for me.
Because if you think about it, like when you were 10, he's 5.
Or the fact that he graduated high school the year Eden was born.
Yeah. But she's also 10.
Yeah, I know, but it's still something about it. I don't know. I'm like, if he were her father, he would have been a teen dad.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know. It was kind of a weird thing for me to get over, but like I read his profile and I realized he sounds really mature. Immediately, I saw that he was like rejecting toxic masculinity, which was a big deal to me. So that's why I wanted to get to know him better. So he is now 28, but yeah.
Nice.
We have a little bit of an age gap, and honestly, I don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
He's very mature.
for sure. He's the best and 10 times more mature than any 40-plus-year-old guy I dated.
Yeah. When I met him, I would have never guessed that he was 28.
Yeah.
Like, he's really mature. So, yeah. Picked a good one. All right, next question. Where does he live? You're going to announce that?
Oh, no, I'm not going to say the city he lives. Where does he live? Well, he lives like 45 minutes away from me. So that's all I'll say.
Oh, yeah. You're going to talk about the distance thing.
Yeah, because we live 45 minutes away from each other. And because we spent a long period of our relationship without him meeting the kids, it really limited our time to be able to see each other. So as of right now, we only see each other once a week. That is the hardest challenge of this entire thing. Like, it's so hard not seeing him more because I want to be around him all the time. But right now we just get once a week. So it's a very special day when we get to see each other.
Yeah, at least you can treasure it, you know.
Totally.
And enjoy every minute.
I think the distance like helps our hearts grow fonder too. And it's allowed for a really slow getting to know each other phase.
Yeah.
Where we're not jumping into things.
What drew you to him to start with?
What drew me to him to start with? His profile initially. And then we had dated each other for like 2 months without him bringing up sex at all. And to me, that was so foreign because every guy that I've been on a date with, it's like in the beginning of the conversations.
Right.
It got to the point where I was actually like, is this guy even attracted to me? Like, what? And then 2 months in, I actually brought it up, just trying to get clarification. And he was just like, yeah, it's just one of those conversations that happens when it happens. But honestly, I was not used to that. And that was a huge green flag for me.
Yeah.
And something that was like, oh, he's so different from the other guys out there. And so that was something. He opens doors for me. He's a gentleman. On one of our first dates, we were like walking down the street and there were a lot of cars. So he like walked on the side where the street was. And he was like, you don't need to be on this side. Just little things like that I have never been treated that way. So it was just, it was new and so sweet.
Oh, that's awesome. He surprised you, you know?
Yes.
Because you weren't used to that treatment.
For sure.
Princess treatment.
And then on top of all that, he is a musician. So that was something that really drew me to him too, because I'm a singer and we have that connection, that musical connection, which is a big deal. Like you and Basil both sing and act and stuff. That's like having that creative connection is really big.
Yeah. I don't know how I'd be with someone who like didn't have that at all.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't understand. Like,
that's how
if
I
they didn't understand theater, I'd be like,
that's how I've always felt. And it's,
did you see that white thing just flying through the sky?
what was it?
I
A bird?
don't know.
I think it was a bird. I think it was a seagull. They're all over the place.
Seagull?
There's seagulls everywhere right now.
What?
So yeah, those are the things that drew me to him.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Now, how or when did you know he was a keeper? And what were his green flags? I know you already mentioned one, but what else did you notice about him from the beginning?
How did I know he was a keeper? Well, I knew that he wasn't just dating around to date around. And I had decided in this relationship, I was going to be 100% myself. And if it was too much for him, then it was too much.
Yeah.
And he could just go. But I wanted to be true to myself and let him know how I felt. And so I remember like before we even went on our first date, because we were FaceTiming. We were doing FaceTime dates before we went on our first official date. And I remember going on a date with somebody else. And the entire time I was on this date, I was like, I just want to be on a date with Austin.
Aw.
We hadn't even met yet at this point, except for FaceTime, but I just knew that I wanted to be with him. And so I was contemplating on whether I should tell him this or not. And on our first date, I straight up told him this. I was just like, yeah, I went on a date with somebody else and I just wanted it to be you.
Aw.
And I know that as women, we can think that that's like too much. Like we're putting too much pressure on the man right away. And we have to like, you know, play games or whatever to like act casual about it. But I was like, no, if I'm excited about him, I want him to know I'm excited.
Yeah.
And he returned that. And everything was equal effort. And I remember like before our first date, him just being like, this is so exciting. And I was like, oh, like it's really hard to like show your cards in the dating world because it's so like it can be rough out there.
Yeah.
And I think people hold back from being too vulnerable at first. But that wasn't the case with either of us. On our first date, he like told me his life story and just like came out with all this stuff that he had never told anybody. Aww. And I was immediately like, yes, I love this.
Oh my gosh, you guys were made for each other. I
seriously feel that way. It's crazy. Just how we connected so easily.
Yeah,
so
you
quickly.
had like the same intentions too, you know, which is really hard to find. So
it wasn't one of those things where you had to like feel like you had to like change yourself.
Yeah,
or like you could just be or change them. You could just be completely yourself and you like the way that they are.
Yeah.
Completely as themselves. And there's not that like pressure to have to like change things or move things. Like things just move as they go.
Yeah, that's good. Awesome. All right.
Oh, green and other green flags. I wrote some of his other green flags down because I knew I'd forget. We can do anything together and it's never boring. And one of the first months of dating, we literally hung out at a gas station for like 3 hours. We were just sat in the car.
Nice.
And talked at a gas station and we were like people watching. And it was nothing boring about it. It was so nice. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so casual. Like we don't ever have to do anything crazy. Most of the time we just hang out in his car. And it's fun.
Oh.
So I felt like that was a green flag. The fact that he rejects toxic masculinity, green flag. He believes in women. He supports women. He loves women, you know, and not just women he's attracted to.
Right.
So there's just a lot of feminism going on. I don't know. He's just great. There's a lot of green flags. Like he's just a walking green flag to me.
Yeah. That's so good. You need that in your life. How long did you date before he met the kids?
Yeah. So he actually just met the kids a few weeks ago. So we dated for over 6 months before he met the kids. And that was just something I felt very strongly about, to wait at least 6 months. So strongly that I put it in our divorce contract because it was just, you know, my kids are the most important thing to me. And I wanted to make sure that this is somebody I could see myself with long term. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
So I was really careful with it. I tried to do everything right. So right. I feel like it was good that we waited so long. And he was like 100% on board with that.
Are you going to tell them about how the kids reacted?
Oh, okay. I was so nervous to tell the kids that I was dating somebody because up until like a month ago, Jude has been asking me when I'm going to get back together with my ex. And it's been really hard for the kids on and off. And so I was really nervous to tell them this, but I feel like I've been kind of prepping them for it in certain ways. Like we have the conversation of when you guys have a boyfriend or girlfriend one day, what do you think are good qualities to look for in a partner? And they're like kindness, honesty, blah, blah, blah. And, I think having those conversations help them realize that I'm not just going to choose anybody.
Right, right.
You know, and of course, all children's movies are like step parents are evil. And so they've been afraid this whole time that I'm going to be with somebody really mean.
Well, it's always like they get married and then they tell the kids. Like,
yeah, when the parents not around, they're like, I'm getting rid of you little brat.
Yeah, they're always like, we're getting married next week.
Yeah, that's part of it too, is like introducing your kids right when you're like getting married and having proposal. So anyways, I was very nervous to tell them. Like I was sick for that whole week leading up to it. And when I told them that I had a boyfriend, they were literally like jumping up and down with excitement. I was not anticipating that at all, but Eden was like, I could tell. You've just been extra giddy lately.
Extra giddy.
Yeah. Well, she was like trying to snoop through my phone and I would get nervous that she would like find texts or something. And so I would take my phone away from her and she'd be like, what is it, Mom? You have a boyfriend or something? So like I knew I had to finally tell her because I felt like she was getting too smart for me. And she swears that she knew before I told her. But Jude immediately was like, I want to talk to him. Call him right now. Have him come over. I want to meet him right this second. I was just not anticipating him to be that excited. But it made us all the more excited.
Yeah.
To like move forward and have him meet them. So
and meeting in person went well. They enjoyed that.
Oh yeah. They immediately all clicked together. It was great.
Yeah.
I couldn't have asked for anything better.
Yeah, I got a text from Jude the night that she told him and he was like, I just found out about Austin. He's like, I can't wait to meet him.
I love that he just comes to you and tells you stuff that's going on with his life.
He tells me all the gossip.
You're the aunt, the cool aunt that yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me ask you a question that's not on here.
Okay.
Do you feel like you were more nervous telling your ex or more nervous telling the kids?
Probably my ex.
Mm-hmm.
I was nervous with both of them though. And he also reacted positively.
Does he have kids and has he ever been married before?
He has never been married before and he does not have kids.
Awesome.
Awesome.
I don't know. I feel like I'm interviewing you for something. How does it feel to date after being married for so long?
I feel like this podcast is all about that question.
Yeah.
Like it's really been a lot of that. I've shared a lot of that through the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't like the first person that I dated. I had dated around quite a bit before him. So like once I met him, I knew weeks in that I was like, okay, I've seen what I needed to see. I'm good. Like,
yeah,
I want to pursue this relationship because I really like him. And I think it took like dating some real losers to be able to spot somebody who's great.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to do that. Okay.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting a hole there.
You can feel my shoulder.
You can feel your shoulder hole.
I know I'm tempting people with my shoulders. What was your favorite date that the two of you have been on so far?
That is a hard question. And I asked him about it. And he said the Titanic date, which I did talk about on this podcast. Yeah. But essentially, his favorite movie is Titanic. So for Valentine's Day, I got us tickets for like the 3D movie of Titanic. And I also like dressed up nice. And I got Rose's necklace from Amazon. And gave him a little note that was like, I want you to draw me wearing this and only this. Like I went along with the whole theme.
Yeah.
I even had a bass, an upright bass cover of My Heart Will Go On my car speakers as I'm giving him this present. So he thinks that's the present. He's like, oh, this is so cute. And then I'm like, oh yeah. And we're going to the movie. So then he was like, oh, that's great. And we made out for like half the movie, like during all the scenes where they were like screaming.
Might as well.
And dying.
Yeah.
I've never made out with somebody while they're screaming and dying people, but we've both seen it 100 times, but it was such a meaningful day. I don't know. I really loved it. His other favorite one was when he came over to my house and I cooked him dinner and I had Edgar Meyer playing on Google. And Edgar Meyer's like his favorite musician and has like greatly impacted his life. So he thought that was like such a cute little touch that I did that for him.
Cute.
And then for me, we took a little staycation together for like 2 days here. And that to me is my favorite because I got so much time with him.
Yeah.
That was the most time I've been with him. That was really nice.
That's nice. Do you have a song? Is it My Heart Will Go On?
Maybe that's one of our songs now. Since we're both music people, we have playlists for each other that we like continue to add on.
Yeah.
But my song for him is James Bay, One Life. It's a good song. I love it. Makes me think of him every time I hear it.
Does he have one for you specifically?
He has a few. One of them is, you know that Steven Sanchez song? I would never fall in love again.
That song's always in my head because
he loves that song. I know. I've heard it on TikTok. He said he heard it on some ad somewhere, and he was like, "Oh, I love that. It reminds me of you."
Yeah, I did see it on an ad last night. I don't remember.
It's on a lot of ads. That's how I found the song.
It's a good song. It is a good song.
Yeah, all of his songs are really good. But anyways,
yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, we kind of have a bunch for each other.
Okay, this is what really matters. His personality type. Let's bring it in with that Enneagram, with that Myers-Briggs, you know what I'm saying? Give us all the gossip. And he's actually on that app that we talked about.
He's on the app. I forgot what it's called too. We did all episode on it. No. Okay, it's not coming to me. Anyways, I made him download the app. Oh, that was another green flag in him. Is like everything that I've asked him to do, especially when it comes to like personality test stuff, he's done.
Yeah.
He like watched this 1.5 hour long video about how our Enneagrams work together.
And
how our relationship can benefit from it. Mm-hmm. And he took notes, Kylie. He took notes. And he came back and we were talking on the phone and he like gave me all of his notes. And I was like, okay.
That's so amazing.
This guy's a keeper. Like,
yeah, that's awesome.
100%. Because there's so many people, just people in general. They're like, I don't like those personality tests. They're stupid.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? So he's an Enneagram 9. And in our first Enneagram episode, I said I wanted to find an Enneagram 9.
Oh, yeah.
So it's perfect.
Oh. And then Myers-Briggs.
And Myers-Briggs, he's an ISTJ.
Okay.
I'm an INFP. So we are opposites. But it works out. Because we have a lot of like similar functions, but we operate differently.
Yeah.
Like he's logical. I'm emotional. But the thing is, he's like, even though he's highly logical and has like an engineer brain, he's also very like sensitive.
Yeah.
So I love that.
That's good.
A lot more sensitive than most people with his type, I think. Because the more I like research his type, the more I'm like, that doesn't really sound as much like him because I think he's connected with himself emotionally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was worried about it when I first read it through because of how opposite we are. But any couple can make it work if you constantly communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Because that's something that we've had to do is communicate our differences. You think one thing operates this way, they think it operates that way.
Right.
And you don't really know unless you get clarification. So
very true.
But yeah, the 4 and 9 pairing.
Wow.
It's great.
Oh, that's a combo. So what's his favorite instrument since he loves music so much?
Yeah. His favorite instrument to play would probably be the bass guitar or the upright bass. The upright bass looks like a cello. It's actually bigger than a cello. I really never paid attention to this instrument before I met him. And now I see it everywhere, which is really cool. And I've learned so much about it because he's so knowledgeable about pretty much all stringed instruments. But those are probably his favorites.
Nice.
He plays like 10 different instruments.
Very impressive.
It's awesome.
Oh my goodness. Who asked this one? Just kidding. I know it's early, but could you see yourself getting married again?
I think ultimately.
Yeah, like maybe one day, but it's not like it's like.
Yeah.
You're waiting for it to happen. Like it's not like that at all.
No, I'm not. Not waiting for it to happen. There's so much that needs to happen first. And it's so nice being in a relationship where you get it to just like enjoy each stage. I've never had that. I was already almost married at this point.
Oh yeah.
I was already engaged and planning a wedding at this point. So, yeah, this is so nice to just move at a slow pace. I love it.
You don't have to worry about the pressure.
No.
Of a wedding.
No pressure at all.
What are 5 things you love about each other?
So I actually texted him this morning asking him this question so that he can answer his 5. He said, number 1, your kindness. Number 2, your empathy and ability to support people in their time of need. Number 3, I love that you are family oriented and take care of your family. You're such a great mom. Number 4, your intelligence. Number 5, I love that we have so much in common and can appreciate the same things.
Aw. Nice.
And mine kind of overlap his. Number 1 is his kindness. Kindness is like number 1 to me. Number 2 would be his stability and consistency and how much he values peace. It's so underrated to have that. But I feel like so calm when I'm around him.
Yeah.
Like I can be having like the worst day ever. But then I get around him and I'm like, oh, I feel really calm.
Yeah.
And that's a special gift.
He's definitely that type of person.
For sure. Number 3 would be his intelligence. He knows so much about so much. It's crazy. Number 4, he is such a hard worker and he never complains ever. Like sometimes he'll vent about something and he'll be like, I'm so sorry I'm complaining. I don't mean to complain. I'm really grateful for this job. I'm like, you're not complaining at all. You're just venting like a regular person. And then number 5, I just love how wholesome he is.
Yeah.
He's like the definition of wholesome in my eyes. Like born in the wrong decade, but not at the same time because he is so like forward thinking and open-minded, but has values.
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I putting you to sleep?
No.
Okay. Yeah. His values are on point.
Nice. Those are all good things.
Yeah. It's hard to come up with 5 things. Only 5.
Yeah. My goodness.
What did you think about him?
Oh.
Let's ask you.
Horrible.
Okay, so the
I'm just
first time
I'm totally kidding, I promise.
the first time that you met him, I threw him into like the
my
lion's
birthday.
den.
My birthday.
No, it was before that. It was when Jeremy was visiting. It was back in October.
Oh yes, of course.
So our first date was September 1st, and by October he already met my family.
I forgot.
But I like had him meet everybody all at once. So it was Kylie, Jeremy, my parents, Basil's parents, Basil, some of your friends.
It was literally everyone.
It was everyone. And Jeremy was like, why'd you do this to him? Poor guy. I'm like, well, just get them all
knocked out at once.
Yeah. So what was like your first impression?
I didn't really talk to him that day. Like I didn't really have like you guys showed up late and then like, we left. So I didn't really talk to him that much then. I feel like I got to know him more on New Year's because he came over here for New Year's. And I really like from the moment you meet him, he's just like you were saying, he's just very peaceful and just like feels very calming. And it's just like, oh, okay, like you don't have to entertain him. He's just kind of like, just goes with whatever's there. And so I could see that. I could see his kindness right away, and how you two like communicate with each other and how kind you are to each other. I just got good vibes. Like I get a vibe from people the first time I meet them. And like I'm usually right. Like I'm usually can tell if it's like, meh, or if it's like, yeah.
Same.
So, and I got a yeah from him. So it was overall good vibe. And yeah, it's just fun getting to know him. Everyone thinks he looks like Taylor Lautner, right?
Yes. He's gotten told that he looks like Taylor Lautner his whole life, especially when he was in high school and he didn't have any facial hair. And I definitely see the resemblance.
Yeah.
I tell him that if Taylor Lautner had a baby with that guy from Bridgerton season 1. I can never say his name right. It's something French. I don't know. If those two had a baby together, it would be Austin.
Okay. Perfect. I don't know who this guy is from season 1.
You've never seen Bridgerton?
That's on my list. It's on my list. I know.
Kylie.
I get yelled at all the time. I get it. I watch it eventually.
It's one of my faves. It's the best.
When I found out it was about King George, like technically about his life, I was like, okay, I'm on board for that one.
What? King George?
They like the king that they created is like the same as King George. Like they were inspired by him. The Mad King. So.
The Mad King.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's King Charles in there in the show.
Well,
something.
he's not really in the show at all. It's the Queen who runs the shots, who calls all the shots.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways,
but
that's my relationship.
Awesome.
I'm glad I can finally talk about him, and it feels good to like not have to keep like holding him back and have like 2 separate lives.
Right.
That's how it felt for a long time. It's just like, oh, this is my regular life. This is my life with Austin. And now I can combine the two. And this weekend, we're going to do some mini golf. We're going to go to lunch.
Nice.
As a big family, you're coming too.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm like, yeah,
nice.
that'd be really fun. I forgot that I'm literally coming.
Were you having FOMO there for a second?
I was just zoned out for a second, like staring at the tree.
You're tired today, aren't you?
I'm very tired. But
I can tell.
Yeah, I need more coffee. I'll be good to go. So anyway, where do we go from here? You know,
I don't know.
We usually like rate all these dating profiles, and
well, we've been reading them still, even though I've been in a relationship with him.
that's true. Yeah,
and that's something I told him right away. I was like, I'm still gonna have Tinder on my phone, but this is why.
Yeah,
I was like, that's fine.
Okay, so we might still do that.
Yeah, I think it's fun every now and then to do it.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just see where this podcast progresses.
How exciting. See, she's just trying to figure out all these damn things. I told you.
I'm still trying to figure out these damn things.
It's a lot.
There are a lot. Oh, and something I do want to talk about in the future is how triggering it is to be in a healthy relationship after being in like a toxic one.
Yeah, there you go.
Because holy crap, it's triggering.
Yeah.
But it's good too at the same time because it allows you to grow together. And he's been so patient with all of that and with my healing and stuff. And like, I tell him all the time, I'm like, you are the best possible person for me, especially in this part of my life. Like, I truly believe God brought us together. And even if something crazy happens and we don't end up together, I'm so grateful. Like, I feel like it's just one of those relationships that's going to like shape me for the rest of my life.
Aw, that's good.
Yeah.
Yay!
Well, that's my life. If you guys have any more questions, leave them down below.
Yes.
And maybe eventually he'll come on here. I don't know.
Oh.
He's very private and maybe won't feel comfortable yet. So we'll give him some time. But
just
maybe
put him on
one
the
day.
phone and put it
never
near
know.
the mic.
Yeah. We could like Zoom him for an interview.
Yeah. So
thanks for watching and listening today.
Yeah. And we have some exciting episodes coming up with some guests who are going to come on the show. So if we can get it all figured out.
Yeah.
We'll see. But
yeah, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Give us a review if you enjoy listening to this podcast. I get messages from you being like, I love your podcast. I'm obsessed. Can you leave a review and let us know that? Because more people will be more likely to listen and tune in. I know for me, when I'm looking at podcasts, I only listen to the ones that have like a lot of reviews. That's probably bad. But I'm just being honest. Like to me, because I know it's like a podcast that I'll probably like because it has more reviews. You know what I mean? Just like how we kind of watch YouTube videos that have more views.
I honestly I'm one of those people that if you have a good title, I'm in.
Really?
Yeah. I don't look at reviews. I've never done that with anything. I don't look at reviews for anything. So because I think that it gives me a bias. I want to just like see it for myself.
I get it. That makes sense. Well, two different people.
Yeah, there you go. That's why we fit well. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, we're ending this now.
Bye.
We'll see you next Friday. Bye.